What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for Sunday evening's Fandom United number 19. I'm just waiting on my other co host to join the party, but my name is Gio. Thank you so much for joining me. And yes, the conversation for this Fandom United will be our favorite one and done comic book movie performances. So we're talking about characters like Nightcrawler from X-Men 2, Dredd, Judge Dredd from the movie Dredd, 2012's Dredd, or maybe Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Have we seen the last of him? DC, I mean, they kind of don't know what they're doing right now. But yeah, we'll be talking that, and I appreciate those of you who are here right now joining the conversation. I think I have Star Drew here right now. Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Those of you watching on the playback, I appreciate your time, and we'll be starting that. And yeah, some interesting characters that we're going to get to. Mark Sinestro's, I'm sorry, Mark Strong's Sinestro, as well as Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Interesting backstory behind that. Liv Schreiber as Sabretooth, and of course, I mentioned Carl Urban as Dredd. While I'm waiting for my co-host, I'm going to go ahead and just run through some things for my subscribers here. Those who follow the channel know I talk a lot about DC, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. But today was a different kind of trending event. If you saw on the intro, make the Batfleck movie, hashtag make the Batfleck movie. And there is my design right there that I did for the trending event. I believe as of this recording, it might be at 150,000 tweets. So great job, guys. Those of you out there who participated, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm definitely calling for this movie to be made. I don't know how Warner Brothers just let this get by their hands. I mean, what we know now about Deathstroke and how he was ruining Bruce Wayne's world, Batman's world. And then you have Jared Leto's Joker, who surprised some people who weren't fans, by the way, of Suicide Squad. And then the reveal that Batgirl was going to be in the Ben Affleck Batman movie. That was crazy. But yeah, 150,000 tweets as of right now, with room for more. And elsewhere, George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers tight end, tweeted hashtag restore the Snyderverse. And I quoted him, the people's tight end has spoken. So it's one thing for us diehard Zack Snyder fans, as DC fans, to be tweeting. Obviously, we would want the movie. But to see athletes as big as George Kittle, who's one of the best players in the NFL, tweet this, I mean, that says something right there, okay? Warner Brothers, I get it. You have no interest in continuing the Snyderverse because you don't want to be reminded of your sins and your stupidity. But us fans, we're trying to do you a favor and make sure that, you don't waste a good thing like you did with Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, with Zack Snyder's Justice League, David Ayer's Suicide Squad, etc., etc. Yeah, Star Drew, I am a 49ers football guy. I can't wait to see who we pick in the draft. We have the number 3 pick. So all of a sudden, the NFL draft just got so much more interesting for me because we went up from number 12 to number 3. So who we gonna get? Yep, Johnny, thank you for being here. Yes, I would have liked to have seen Channing Tatum was going to do with that as far as Gambit goes. Taylor Kitsch, I have Taylor Kitsch on my list. We're going to get to some of those X-Men Origins characters. Just waiting on my guy. And Johnny saying that's clean. Him and the country singer Brad Paisley, who I have no idea who Brad Paisley is, but he has a check mark. He has a check mark on Twitter. That's all I know. And he tweeted out, "Restore the Snyderverse." So that's one more for the crew. Speaking of Restore the Snyderverse, something I want to show you guys. This campaign has reached its goal, and so the goal was to raise $5,000 for two of those trucks that you see in the picture. One will be sent to LA's office, I believe, for Warner Media, and then one is going to New York. And what they're going to do is drive around. They have a route set up, I believe, a couple blocks, and they're going to continue to drive around until Warner Brothers sees Restore the Snyderverse. So I think that's pretty cool. I myself made a donation. I'm happy to see that we have another campaign going. Again, one truck driving around the studio over at LA, another one over in New York. And this I found interesting. This is from some billboards in Russia. That's right, Russia is tweeting, well, not retweeting, but they're supporting hashtag Restore Snyderverse. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's not just the United States, okay? It's not just us, US or Europe. We're talking China, we're talking Russia, we're talking Japan, we're talking Brazil, US, Canada. This thing is everywhere, okay? And as long as it takes, however much it's going to take, we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing to see these projects get made because, for one, these are incredible performers, actors, actresses. Two, it's more content for HBO Max. And more content is not a bad thing. So, yeah. I'm just waiting on my buddy to get here. I swear to God, I'm about to just start without him. I really like. It's Sunday night, okay? Come on, buddy. Let's see what else I got. Oh, this is interesting right here. According to IMDb, the best Batman, they voted, and the winner, no surprise, it's Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck beat out, looks like, Christian Bale as the best Batman. Now, had Zack Snyder's Justice League not been released, I would have said, I don't know, because we only saw Bruce Wayne. We only saw Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne Batman and BVS, which I enjoyed. For some people, it was a little extreme, right? Batman using guns, killing people, this and that. Until you saw his character evolution from Batman v Superman all the way to Zack Snyder's Justice League, where he's literally telling Alfred, Alfred, faith. For the first time, I'm acting strictly on that. What an evolution for a character, from somebody who, he would tell Alfred, the SOB brought the war to us and we're going to end it. He was so possessed by his hate to all of a sudden turn around. Well, not all of a sudden, but to now be more of the Batman that people know, in the comics and in the movies. They watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, there's the Batman that I know and recognize. There's the Superman that I know and recognize. So it's why we ask for AT&T and Warner Media to restore the Snyderverse, because you already see the arc that these characters are going through. And aren't you at least curious to want to see where the story goes next with Zack Snyder? The fact that you've been this much invested since 2016 for Batman v Superman, 2013 for Man of Steel, I for sure do. And it's always great to have, like I said, more content Okay. I love my Marvel stuff. All right. Give me plenty of that. They got plenty. But I also want some DC stuff where they're doing something different and not trying to carbon copy Marvel. I don't get it. If you want to make a Marvel movie, then make a Marvel movie. But that's just me. What do I know? Besides restore the Snyderverse and make the Batfleck movie. And there he is. There is my guest. He has arrived. Let me bring him in right now. Quick, quick, hide the stuff, Keith. There he is, Keith Barnes.
Okay, go on.
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Good, man. Sorry I'm late. Had a few last minute stuff to take care of, but I'm here.
I don't know if you saw the red carpet premiere for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I started feeling like Kevin Smith, because they were having technical difficulties trying to get Zack Snyder on a cam.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith ended up talking for like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow, no.
Whatever. I was almost getting to that point, man. But thank you for being here.
Yes.
I always appreciate the conversation. These Fandom United podcasts will now be happening on Sunday night, and it'll be kind of a casual conversation thing with a topic here and there. For my shows, I like to everything's on the table. Whatever you want to talk about, as far as movies and TV go. I would like for it to be a little bit, more recent stuff, because I'm sure people enjoy talking about that. But this is a topic I've wanted to talk about for quite some time now. The favorite one and done comic book movie performances.
Right.
You can see right there a couple of notable characters and actors and actress. And let's have a conversation about what the hell happened. And I'm going to go, before I go to you first, I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
And those in the chat right now. Is it too early to call it for this guy right here? Is it too early to call it for him? Because I get the feeling that DC they're moving past the David Ayer Suicide Squad. They're moving past Zack Snyder's Justice League. They tried so hard to get Deadshot, Will Smith back as Deadshot for James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but the scheduling didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I gotta wonder how much longer is Will Smith gonna be like, I'm open to playing Deadshot, to where he goes, all right, that was fun, but I mean, it's going on what, 7-8 years pretty soon. If they were to do another Suicide Squad movie in the next couple of years, what do you think? Is it too early to call it for Will Smith's Deadshot, one and done?
Well, when did that came out in
2016.
Up until maybe, let's say 2 years, up until maybe 2019-ish, I would probably say, too soon. At this point, I still won't rule him out, but it doesn't seem likely. I think and he's so good, obviously, and he seemed to enjoy it. Seemed to be really into it. And I'm sure he, liked working with David Ayer, and I'm sure he would have loved to work with James Gunn. But like you said, scheduling stuff, and he's had a few projects since then. But like I said, I wouldn't rule him out. I wonder, they had to keep Harley Quinn, like they had to.
Oh, sure.
Because it's just immensely popular, and I wonder if that character hadn't has resonated as well, they wouldn't have scrapped her too, to be honest.
Right.
But she's a popular character in just every medium, right? So they kept her, whether it's comics or animated or even video games, even. So they TV shows, and so they kept her. Will Smith, and because it's Will Smith, like you'd think that they'd work around if we were going to way to get him.
If I'm Warner Brothers, I'm moving mountains. How do we have 3 Harley Quinn appearances?
Right.
And only one Deadshot.
Will Smith is Deadshot
appearance.
Yeah, I know, and they seem to build so much. There was so much focus on him and his daughter and that whole story of like his redemption. Like it seemed to be going somewhere with his story.
Well, if I may, that's the reason why Shia LaBeouf, who was supposed to be in David Ayer's Suicide Squad,
Oh, I didn't know that.
because there was a role for Shia LaBeouf. Who was it? Scott Eastwood. You remember Scott Eastwood, Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood's
Okay.
son?
Yeah.
He was in the movie.
Right.
He was kind of Rick Flag's right-hand man in the movie
Yeah.
when they were on a
Yeah.
mission. That was supposed to be Shia LaBeouf.
Interesting.
But because Will Smith agreed to do the movie, he wanted a bigger, prominent role. And I'm not too sure if that was Will Smith or the studio, but it makes sense either way.
Right.
Because they had to make room for a bigger role, Shia LaBeouf's role was reduced, and
Sure.
I believe he didn't. He wasn't interested anymore.
Yeah.
And so they got Scott Eastwood in there. But
could be a Henry Allen situation with what's the actor's name? Jeez, I'm blanking.
Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup, yeah.
Barry Allen's father.
Yeah. Could be a similar thing where, and again, I don't know how big his role was going to be. Probably not like Will Smith, obviously, but
yeah,
it probably was going to be small enough where he just didn't feel like it was worth it. So I wonder if that was a similar situation. And I wonder if we're heading that way with Will Smith. He might just want to,
Yeah, the jury's out. Those of you in the chat, let me know. Have we seen the last of Will Smith's Deadshot? I mean, I don't see a scenario given the state of DC right now because of Warner Brothers. I don't see a scenario where he's back in the next couple years. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but let me know. What do you think? Will Smith, Deadshot, no more? Let me know your thoughts. Looks like we have a comment real quick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Star Drew. He's a regular. And I believe POV. Go ahead, Keith.
Dude, so Dick Tracy, I was so excited. I used to love Dick Tracy when I was a kid. Al Pacino was nominated for an Oscar for his role as Big Boy Caprice in that movie. He's great. It's very over the top and cartoonish, but he's really – the movie is. But he's really, really good, very menacing, and you can tell he was having a good time in that role. I really enjoyed it. I have vague memories of The Spirit. I've seen it, but I don't have any recall from it at all, so I can't really tell you.
I have not seen it. Warren Beatty directed it, and 1990. That's when I was born, by the way. But
oh yeah, right. Jeez.
Yeah, but The Spirit, Stardew. Are you talking about the one with
Sam Jackson, Scarlett Johansson? Yeah.
I saw that once back in 2009 or 10.
Whenever
it was around that time, a couple years after it came out, and
I don't know.
I mean, Eva Mendes, that's
bravo.
Yeah.
Look, she is legit. She's a really good actress. I think legitimately, but yes, she's can't go wrong with her in anything. But
yeah. Well, let's get this started. Let's talk about one and done comic book movie performances, and we could just sound off. Okay, we'll have a casual conversation. I don't know if we can call this beer. It's like water, and
yes, beer water.
Yeah. But we're gonna go. Stardew, if you have any more one and done performances, or Johnny, let me know. But Keith, we got first, man. One and done.
One and done. Actually, gosh, I texted you a few of mine. And I forgot one. I just remember that I marked down. But so I don't know if you had images, but we just move quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have to focus too much on this one, but Glenn Close. Forgot about Glenn Close and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. And that's your favorite?
I don't know my favorite. It's a notable one because it's
a notable one.
Such a big. It was like a big deal. Like, wow, Glenn Close is going to be the
commander of the
what are they called? The
Nova Corps.
The Nova Corps, yeah, Nova Corps head or whatever. Yeah, I remember going into it thinking that was going to be a bigger part, but I guess not. And that planet's been destroyed by Thanos, so it doesn't matter. So, oh well.
The thing that annoyed me about, and I love Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. Don't get it twisted here. But to your point, they should have gave her more of a juicier role. Okay, they made her the commander of the Nova Corps. She had one scene, like in the middle, I believe when John C. Riley's character is talking to her,
Yeah.
and then at the end where she's
Right.
just uh,
Thanks
hints
everyone.
at Peter
Thank you, Star Wars.
Quill's wherever he's from,
His father.
and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, she dies off screen.
Yeah.
Because Thanos invaded Xandar,
Hmm.
and that was the last of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Just like yeah.
Stardew, you're right. That was Helen
Helen
Mirren
Mirren.
who
Right.
in Red when she
Red.
has the gun and she's going. "Ju- ju- ju- ju."
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Red. Red's a good movie. That's
Red is a really good
yeah.
movie.
Let's talk about that.
I would have had Bruce Willis in there, but then he did Red 2, and I was like,
Oh, there was a. I never saw that one. That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot there was a second.
the first one
The
though
second one.
is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, but come on, who you got, buddy?
So yeah. So the first one that went to mind was Tom Hardy, as Bane in the Dark Knight Return, or the Dark Knight Rises.
Rises.
Yeah. I mean, I watched this maybe a month ago. Recently, it was within the last month and a half or so.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
Oh my goodness, he's classic. He is classic in this movie.
Yeah,
I don't think it gets talked about enough. Obviously, with that trilogy, the focus is, of course, it's Heath Ledger, but I think it's a very underrated villain, comic movie villain, certainly in recent years. I thought he was spectacular. It's a different take on Bane. I think a more, I don't want to say realist. Well, I guess more realistic take on the character of Bane, as just kind of a terrorist. I don't want to say mercenary, but he kind of a cyber terrorist. I guess
kind of like a mercenary.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess he pretty much is. But he's a member of the League of Shadows.
Well, he was.
Was excommunicated. Yes, that's right. And but his performance, I mean, right from that opening is, I mean, it's so good. There was so much classic lines, so much classic dialogue. He's very intimidating. You get the classic fight with Batman, and he breaks his back, of course.
I remember watching that. I remember watching that in IMAX, and the whole fight scene. There's no music that's playing.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of the waterfall.
Yeah.
It's just the two of them going at it, and
he just wrecks him.
I remember being so speechless when I saw Bane just whoop his ass.
He really did.
Yeah, it really exposed for myself just how much Christian Bale's Batman could have been better as far as like fighting,
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Great Bruce Wayne, but as far as fighting goes, at least with at least with Bane, it's like, wow, you just took all the martial arts out of your brain and just threw it away.
Well, that was the point, though. He and Bane called him on that. Like, listen, you're fighting with, you don't even know what you're fighting for, or what what the line is. I can't remember, but
you fight like young man with nothing to the held
back. Something like right.
But foolish
or pointless or something like that.
Me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. And well, because the thing I love, again, that's my favorite Batman. Anything, it's that trilogy, but including that third one. I like that third one more than most people do. But he really it took a lot of stuff from year one, and all the training he did. That's why I love Batman Begins so much, because you really see it. He threw himself into the world and learned all the skills he needed to do what it was he wanted to do. But you're exactly right. He faced a guy that he was no match for. And not to mention the fact that he'd been retired for 8 years or whatever after the events of the last movie. So there was nothing he could do, and he just was trying to brawl this guy. Nothing he'd ever done before. This ain't no street punk, from not one of Falcone's men. Like, this is a real match for him, and nothing he could do. So I know a lot of people don't like that ending, their last fight at the end.
Hey, I got a random question. Okay. Who had the worst? Who had the worst ass whooping? Like the worst of the two?
Okay.
Christian Bale or Batman against Bane, or Rocky versus Mr. T the first time?
Boy. Clover
Kind of the
Lang.
same thing, right?
Clover Lang got in. Boy, yeah.
Clover Lang, Mr. T beat the shit out of Rocky the
Listen,
first time.
that's as great, and we all love Apollo Creed.
Yeah,
Clover Lang was his toughest villain,
yeah,
opponent, I should say,
yeah.
that he fought.
Okay, yeah,
So and he would have killed Apollo if he'd have fought him. So
yeah.
he didn't break. He didn't break Rocky's back.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna give it
I got to go Batman.
give it to
It
Batman.
was just a random question. It's just like, I think about these things sometimes. It's like, man, who had a worse ass whooping? Like Batman,
Yeah, right.
Bane,
That's a good one.
or Rocky against Mr. T?
Yeah,
Clever.
right.
We got a comment here from Star Drew. Again, appreciate you guys watching. Leave your comments. I like
That's
the
the-
Bane from '90s. Hey, you know what? I
That's
was
the comic
7 years
version.
old. He
Yeah,
scared the crap out of me.
sure. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's the carbon copy straight out of the comics. I mean, the wrestler and takes the drugs and gets all big and scary. And so
Yeah. Yeah. So all right, Bane.
Think we'll ever see Bane again?
I'm sorry?
You think we'll ever see Bane again in live action?
Yeah,
You think so?
I think so.
Well, I'm wondering.
I think maybe in the second or third movie with Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson. Oh, really? Okay.
They're doing 3.
Yeah.
They're doing
Okay.
3. And I think he'll be back. I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Sticking with DC, I'm going to go with a character that does not get enough love. Somebody who only had a limited amount of screen time, but made it count. And she made the top 5 DCU villains in my rankings video, which is on my channel. You guys can check out. And that is Feora.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I'm gonna try and pronounce her name. It's a very unique, beautiful name.
Go ahead.
Anje Trau.
Trau?
Trau.
Yeah.
Traue.
Yeah.
As Feora.
Yeah.
She is the sub-commander for General Zod's Kryptonian army. She takes no BS from anyone. She delivers her lines with such authority and with such assertiveness. Like, I remember when Christopher Maloney's character, she's like, General Zod would like this woman, and she points to Lois Lane, and then Christopher Maloney is like, you asked for the alien,
right?
And then she goes, are you refusing? Or should I tell him that you are refusing? And he goes, I don't care what you tell him.
Yeah.
And then she looks at him like, you don't know what I could do to you right now.
Yes.
But her iconic line of a good death is its own reward.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, like, yes. Like, she gave, granted, Kal-El was Superman for like a couple days.
Sure.
If that. And she whooped his ass.
Oh, they fought it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see her fight Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. I want to see what that looks like.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. But she is great, regardless of how you feel about the movie. She delivered. She is excellent. Yes. I don't know if she died because she ended up, I believe they went to the
Phantom Zone, right? Yeah.
So she might very well be alive. Who knows? Do you have any thoughts on Feora?
Loved her. I loved her so much. I thought she was the best part of the movie. Like when I was coming out of it, like when I first saw it, I was like, she was the best character in the movie. I don't know. I mean, I love Man of Steel, but I haven't watched it in a while. I need to watch that again. She's not the same character from the Donner for Superman 2, though, right? That's not Feora, I don't think.
I think that is.
Is it? I thought she had a different name, that lady.
I can double check.
Okay, I'm just curious. Maybe. I thought I remember reading that it was a different character, but maybe. She could be. I know Feora she's part of the lore for the last, a couple of decades or so. But
a character named Ursa.
Ursa, that's her name. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people thought that was supposed to be the same. Because in Man of Steel they had her, and then they had that big being as well. That he had the mask on the whole time. You never saw his face, so people thought that was that big guy from Superman 2 as well. I think that's kind of what they were going for, but they had different names or whatever. But okay.
Talking about
Aeon Flux.
Eon Flex with
Charlize. Yeah. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I used to watch that animated series on MTV, and the movie was I'm on the fence with that movie. But yeah, no. What's her name again? She's German, right? I think she's a German actress.
Ajay
Trowell. Pretty sure.
Trowell?
I would say Trowell.
Oh my God!
I know.
Forgive me.
Sorry, I know. Sorry.
Forgive me. I love you. Forgive me.
Yeah. But she's really good. She doesn't say a whole lot. They have a whole thing. Her and Christopher Maloney's character. They have this kind of running thing throughout the whole movie, which was very interesting. Like, I think he was a little bit in love with her, to be honest. But yeah, that's a great line. Good that it's its own reward, and yeah, again, it's too bad. We won't. Maybe there's a way we could have seen some backstory with them. She obviously was Zod's trusted, I guess, number 2, I guess. And
yeah, the sub commander.
Kind of, right, lieutenant, top lieutenant or whatever. And so she's very loyal, and she's tough. She's very tough. And again, it was just cool to see once they were figuring out, because obviously Clark had the upper hand because he'd been on Earth. He knew how to harness his powers, and he had that advantage. But once she kind of figured it out, she was wrecking shop there. So yeah, it was good. I like her a lot. That was a good call. I didn't even think of that.
All right, who you got next?
Okay, so another big dog, another heavyweight. I tried to. It just sucks because it was a bunch of MCU people that came to mind. I was trying to avoid that the more I was writing names down, but then I realized how much they do this. They cast these big name actors in these singular roles, and we never see them again. But Jeff Bridges, of course, in his classic role as in Iron Man.
Oh,
not Killmonger. I'm sorry,
Obadiah.
Ironmonger. Obadiah Stane. Ironmonger. I said Killmonger. Ironmonger. Obadiah Stane, who should still be around, man. He's kind of a character sort of like Hammer, where he's a big Iron Man villain. And Justin Hammer would have been on this list, except we have seen him at least once, and he's been referenced a couple times in the MCU, so we know he's still around. Otherwise, he'd be on there, Sam Rockwell. But yeah, Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges, man, the dude playing the villain in Iron Man.
Dude, yeah,
he's great. He's really great. He's very menacing. It's not he does the thing that some of the Marvel villains they do. They kind of go crazy for no reason at the end. But up till then, it's very good, very menacing. You really see his motivation. Like he's trying to run this company. He does not like Tony. Clearly doesn't like Tony. And to the point where he tries to have him killed so that he can take over. And the whole thing of he's selling weapons under the table overseas to terrorists. Yeah. That whole story. That's so fascinating. And yeah, so I just love the dynamic between him and Tony, and it's Jeff Bridges. You know what I mean? Like, it's the dude. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps like that. He just snaps on that guy. It was a great scene.
I was gonna ask you who had the better line delivery, Jeff Bridges with that, or Tony Stark's "I am Iron Man." We know which one is more significant.
Right. Because it ends 10 years later or whatever with him saying it again. But
then again, that line that Jeff Bridges says is revisited in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah, that's right.
They're having a flashback.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy that Jeff Bridges is chewing out.
He's one of Pete Billingsley. He's one of Jake Gyllenhaal's guys. So Mysterio, yeah, he's one of Mysterio's. Well, I wonder. You think could he be on this list, Mysterio? You think Jake Gyllenhaal could be? Could we think he's gonna be one and done? Before we get back to.
Yeah, I don't see um, Jake Gyllenhaal coming back for another one.
Really?
Do you?
I don't know. I mean, it's Mysterio, right? And who knows what?
Maybe as part of the Sinister Six,
Hmm. Over. Okay. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But didn't he die at the end of Far From Home?
It looked like he died. Seems like it, but you know how these movies are. You know how obviously he's a comic book character in a comic book movie.
No,
You never know.
Marvel. Yeah, nobody's dead.
Exactly. So who knows? But yeah, so that was a side one I just thought of as we're talking about it. But yeah, Jeff Bridges is as Stain. You know, like once you see everything unfolds, he's behind the whole thing. It's a great performance, and you
Yeah.
know, once he makes that turn, it's very sinister. Remember, he takes that little machine and takes the artery out of actor's chest, and it's very very intimidating. So, uh, yeah, that was the second guy I thought of.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. Classic performance right there. From the movie that started it all in the
Mm-hmm.
MCU. With that, I'm going to go ahead and go with. So, do you see that gentleman on the bottom right of your screen right there?
Oh yeah.
One who gave an incredible performance. And not once did you see his face.
Yeah.
Talking about Carl Urban as Dredd. And you know what? Next year is going to be 10 years since Dredd came out.
Was that 12? That's 2012,
Unbelievable.
wasn't it? Yeah, right.
Unbelievable. And I remember like all the fans asking for Dredd 2, man. Up until 2017, Carl Urban was still being asked about,
Yeah.
Dredd. And there were talks that never really led anywhere. Somebody did a Photoshop of a Dredd series on Netflix, like literally the Netflix menu, and it said Dredd with the episodes.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, yes, come on. Like, I mean,
I
again,
know.
you don't ever see his face, but Carl Urban with the voice, and it
Yes.
just, it was just incredible to see, him like literally not fearless, and not once did he show fear. He
Right.
was always like calculating the move and his um, trainee. What's her name?
She was in Juno. I
Olivia
can't think of her name.
Olivia
Olivia Thirlby. Olivia Thirlby.
Throby. Yeah,
Yep.
who did a great job as well.
Yes.
Um, what a great movie!
Yeah.
A small movie, a
Mm-hmm.
very confined movie. Um, and it's really a shame that we didn't get to see any more of Carl Urban as Dredd. If you haven't seen Dredd, anybody out there who's watching on either right now or playback, do yourself a favor. Watch Dredd. The movie takes heavy inspiration from the Raid movies,
Mm-hmm.
directed by Gareth Evans,
Yeah.
who was almost going to direct the Deathstroke origin movie from Joe Manganiello.
I know that.
But yeah, man, Carl Urban as Dredd. Um, it's pretty safe to say. I mean, like I said, it'll be 10 years next year.
Yeah.
I think that for sure is a one and done.
Yeah. I was just about to say. Yeah.
It's unfortunate,
If we
man.
weren't coming up on 10 years, I would still hold out hope because he still wants to do it. I know he gets asked about it all the time.
Could he still play the character? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think I mean, he's only getting older, so I don't know, but he seems to be into it. Every time he's asked about it, he says he's just waiting for somebody to do something. There was supposed to be, I know there was talk of a series, um, possibly, but
Mega City 1.
Makes anyone, yeah.
Just the
So
way, if you do this, it's automatic fail. It's just like, damn.
I know. It's
Yeah. Great
I don't know.
usage of slow motion in that
Agree.
movie. Yeah.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. What you got next?
All right. Let me go back to my. Okay. Next, I got another one from Man of Steel.
Ooh.
This is one that totally changed me on a. Totally agree. I think it's just popped up on HBO Max, so I'm trying to watch it this week. I haven't watched it, and I think I've watched it since it came out.
Hmm.
So yeah, 100%. Excuse me. But yeah, another guy from Man of Steel, Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent, who
Pa Kent,
Kent
y'all.
is spectacular in this movie.
Yes.
Now, I don't fully. It's a different take on Jonathan Kent on Pa Kent. Okay, so I don't.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about the controversy.
I don't. I like it. It's different, and so in some sense, I don't. For what they're trying to do, for what they're going for this version of Superman the character, it fits. It works. I don't love it. Like I love that idea of if you go back to the original, and not that I'm comparing the two, but I kind of am. It's not, you know what I mean?
It's a fair comparison.
Yeah. The idea of, and it's such a great scene. You go back to Superman 1, where he's talking about his powers and all the stuff he wants to do, and he wants to play football, and he wants to, well, why can't I show him do this? And Pa Kent tells him, and that actor who I don't know, I'm sorry I don't know his name, but he's really great. He's like, I don't know who sent you here, but he sent you here for a reason, and it wasn't to catch touchdowns or something like that, And then immediately, just a few minutes later, he has the classic, the Pa Kent has the heart attack and he passes away. And Clark, for all his powers, like he wasn't able to save his father. And I love that.
Is the name.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. I'm sure he's great classic actor, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just really good. I just really like that idea. And even carry over in Smallville, it's like, listen, you're here for a bigger purpose. He's trying to get Clark to focus on just what it is he's here for. Whereas in this one, it's kind of like, don't worry about it, man. We need to keep you safe, which I get. Like, you want him, just you need to take care of yourself, be safe. We don't want you to, the world's not ready for you. And even if you get out there, they're not going to accept you, man. Like, and which he's right. He's right about that. But just, I don't know. Just like the whole idea of like when he's like that scene right there where he says to him, he saves his friends from the bus. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Let him die? And he's like, maybe. And I just remember being like, it's kind of, I don't know. I didn't like that.
Man, screw those kids with their iPhone. I want this and I want that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, look, and then that carries over to, I think, even with Martha Kent saying, you don't know this world a thing. You don't know this world a damn thing. It's like, well, it's not. It's not really what Jor-El had in mind when he sent him there, But the performance though is great. I love Kevin Costner. It's the thing. I've never been a fan of his through the years. This movie, and Molly's Game are the two movies that made me go, Kevin Costner is.
Yeah,
man, he's great. He's a great, he's one of our greats. So, but yeah, his performance. I mean, I'm telling you, his podcast, it's so good. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. And I love the scene where he's like, where the young Clark is like, can I just go back to being your son? And he's like, you are my son.
Oh, the delivery.
I'm telling you, that gets me every time I see that. So great. So that's great performance. I love that.
They say Zack Snyder can't direct. Out of here.
Well, hey, he can cast. He can definitely cast. So that's why you cast.
Definitely.
You cast actors that can act.
Yes,
so, yeah.
And I definitely see where you're coming from, but the only thing I'll bring up is that, again, it's all about character arcs. And by Zack Snyder's Justice League, he's saying to his son, fly, son, it's time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
Pa Kent said it.
Yeah.
He went from, the world isn't ready. And he's right,
He's right.
The world is not ready. And that was evident in Batman v Superman.
Right.
How those themes carried over. But, I mean, I'm sure it must have been a good feeling for you to hear Pa Kent say that finally.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a surprise. I did not expect it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, well, I mean, it's his voiceover. He could have done it any time, but yeah, it was really, that's my favorite moment in that movie. In the Zack Snyder Justice League. So
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The arc and it makes me all the more reason like we could get another Superman movie, or we could have seen that more.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well, between then and now. But he's great in this one. So
Yeah. I mean, they could explore more of that in the Man of Steel too, but
yeah,
flashbacks.
that's true.
But
That's true.
yeah. We have a question here for you, Keith.
Okay.
Tin Cup.
Oh yeah, I've never seen Tin Cup. The golf movie.
Is that what that is?
Is that one where he plays like in the Masters or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah, 1996 is Tin Cup. Man.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah. Rene Russo. That's right.
Yeah.
Bob Johnson.
I like golf movies. Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. I've never seen Tin Cup. Good call, Star Drew. Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It is available on Prime Video and
Is it?
YouTube. Pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check that out.
Oh yeah. See, that's why we have you in here, man, for the conversations.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's my turn, and I'm going to refer back to this beautiful graphic that I co-created with Jake Berlin. Thank you, Jake. If you're watching on playback, if you look to the top left of your screen, you will see one incredible portrayal of just, I mean, and out of nowhere casting that just worked beautifully. I'm talking about Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
What does he say in the movie? My name is Kurt Wagner, but
Your name is Kurt Wagner.
I was
known as the Amazing Nightcrawler or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
But not just that. I mean, go back to like the opening scene of X-Men 2, where he is fighting in the White House, making his way, maneuvering through. You're seeing Nightcrawler teleport and just do flying kicks and everything, and it's just like, oh my God. I remember watching this as a 12-year-old, just being so mind blown. Like, I loved the first X-Men movie, and to have the next one open with that sequence, let alone be a much better movie, as far as it's one of those examples of where the sequel like took it a step further. It was higher. But Alan Cumming as Kurt Wagner Nightcrawler, I love that they not only gave him the awesome action sequences, but they really dove into his character. Like there's a moment where he's sitting in the X-Men jet, and he's in the back holding his what do you call those?
Oh, the rosary.
Rosary, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's saying a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Storm comes to sit down and starts talking to him, and then they have this conversation, this important conversation about like how other people perceive us, and it gets into a little bit religious, and I just thought, man, those moments, like, and then the makeup of him, like I wish I had a image, but you could see right there on his face, just the detail of the makeup was just incredible. And I remember watching the behind the scenes for X-Men 2, and how he would sit in the chair for like 6 to 8 hours just doing a whole bunch of makeup. And this was back in 2002 when the movie was shot. And so CGI wasn't, they weren't doing what they were doing to Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique.
Right.
But just the detail. And I remember Alan Cumming like saying in the behind the scenes, he's sitting in the chair, he's just like, never again. Because it's a lot of time in the makeup chair just to do a couple scenes, if not one scene.
Right.
Man, but unfortunately, that was the last we saw of his character.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Singer didn't do X-Men The Last Stand. He went to do Superman Returns, and they decided not to bring back Nightcrawler for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then, if you remember X-Men Days of Future Past, remember that end sequence where Logan's walking through the hall and
back in school,
all the original characters? I was really hoping to see Alan Cumming's Nightcrawler. We saw Kelsey Grammer's Beast, which is why he's not on my list, because he's not technically a one and done.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that was the last we saw of Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler, and it's one of those. Whenever I think of one and done, he's one of the first people I think of
Hmm.
uh, because of that White House attack sequence and just how you watch that today, like it still holds up.
Yeah,
The,
absolutely.
the music, the orchestra, the
Right.
vocals, all the man. It was just it's beautiful, man. Like Bryan Singer, like he's going through legal troubles and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
what he gave us for those X-Men movies, 1, 2, and Days of Future Past, man, incredible. Do you have anything to say about Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler?
Totally agree. It was a weird casting. I remember at the time, it was like Alan Cumming. Like he's more of a comedic guy and a kind of a song and dance man. Kind of
Yeah.
So it was like almost like with Wolverine with Hugh Jackman. Like he's a kind of a stage performer and a musical guy, and he's a very funny guy. He's really funny, Alan Cumming. But so yeah, it was weird to see it. They cast him as Nightcrawler. And yeah, everything you said, totally agree. That opening scene, we just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 100% still holds up. My favorite scene, I think, in that movie is when he's talking to Mystique, who now in the comics is his mother, but
Yeah.
which is they didn't go there in the movies, but yeah, he's talking to her and he's like, can you so you can change to look like anyone else? You can copy even their voice, and then she copies his voice and says, yes, he did that.
Voice.
And he's like, well, why don't you just make yourself look human all the time, look like everyone else? And she's like, because we shouldn't have to. And, and I just love that scene. That's whenever I think of him, that's the scene I think of. And oh, cool, yeah, cool poster. But he was really good, man, really good. And you get the young guy now is what's his name, Cody
Schmidt McPhee.
I mean, he's okay. He's actually not bad. But he's no Alan Cumming. He was really great as Nightcrawler. Yeah, totally.
I just thought about when the X-Jet gets hit by a missile in the air.
Yeah, and he had to go catch
flies out.
Rogue,
and he goes, bam, and he catches her.
That was awesome. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. Yeah.
See, this is why we do this channel, to reminisce, have a little beer, and just have a casual conversation. Keith, before I ask you for your next, I got some from our dedicated guy here. I swear to God, Sardrew, I kind of want to send you something, man. Like, you let me know if you're interested. I'll send you.
Oh, we got
a pack of these.
Sweet. Cool, man. Ooh, with that Superman logo. That's cool.
Yep, I'm serious. Stardrew, if you're still there or if you're watching on playback, I'll send you that.
Yeah.
If you want. Let me know your address, P.O. Box, whatever, nearest Burger King. I'll send you that. Yeah, Keith, who you got next?
All right, my next one. Let's see. At the time where Jeffrey just Kevin Costner. Oh, okay. So, I had two from the same movie. I'm just going to go with one. Well, I don't know if I'm going to go with one. I can maybe do both. Maybe we can do both because we can kind of do them. They're all in the same movie.
We're chilling. Go ahead. Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker and Daniel Kaluuya in Black Panther. Oh,
nice.
A little more on Forrest Whitaker because we may still see Daniel Kaluuya. At this point, it's one and done, but we don't know what happened to him. So I'll focus on Forrest Whitaker because spoilers, if you haven't seen Black Panther, spoiler alert. But this character obviously dies in that movie. But what a performance! What a performance playing the guy who's got the secret of who this mysterious villain is. Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger character, and he knows who he is. Right? He's kept that secret all these years, and could have been the key to not having any of this happen. Any of the stuff that happened in that movie, like obviously his father. Yeah, there you go. And I don't. You know what? I feel like I didn't get his name, but really quick. But his performance is great. Forrest Whitaker has a few of these roles. Obviously Rogue One as in Rogue One. Oh, his character's name.
Oh, hold on, give me a
Yeah.
second.
Zuri. I got it.
Zuri.
Yeah,
Zuri.
Zuri. Yeah. Yeah. And is that now? I heard different. Is that his son, or is not a son that plays the young version? People say it's a son, and then it's not a son. Another guy has the same name. His name's also.
That is a trivia. Let me.
Yeah, I can't find that, but anyway, it's a great role. He plays a guy, like I said, who's burdened with a secret, and he's kind of the guy that T'Challa goes to for counsel. So certainly after the death of his father, he's the guy that he goes to, and they have a great scene where they're going back and forth. He's like, "You should have, like, we did this wrong." Where T'Challa has a moment where this was wrong. You guys were all wrong. We did this the wrong way, and he just was like, I don't know. It's very powerful, very powerful. I haven't watched it in a while, so another one to revisit. But I just thought he was really great. They had some great scenes together, and you can just see the sadness in him once T'Challa's kind of just unloading on him about like why this all happened, and he's stopped short of telling him like this is your fault, but he basically is kind of saying that on him, and he knows, and just I really loved him in this movie. I thought it was really great.
Yeah, when he was killed, I was gonna say when he died, but he was killed. You really feel T'Challa's pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a bit of, was there a bit of conflict? I mean, because like he's like,
well,
no, man, because he's just like, I obviously love you. You've been there for me a lot, but how could you keep this from me?
Right.
Yeah.
Such a huge important thing. Like, and Whitaker, Zuri, and almost when he dies, he kind of, maybe just me, I kind of got the sense that he kind of felt like he felt like he deserved that,
Oh yeah.
So, Forrest Whitaker. I mean, again, this is how he is in everything he's in, man. He's such a nuanced guy. Excuse me. And he throws himself in any of these roles. Like I said, even he's just one of those guys that's always 110%, and you really get the sense of history and background with all his characters, and this one especially. Like he just feels like someone I just can't say enough about him. He's really great in this.
Man, that was a great pick, dude. I think we'll see Daniel Kaluuya's character in Black Panther 2, especially with the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. I think they may actually give him maybe a larger role.
I hope so. I loved him too. He has some great moments where I love how he's kind of like just the idea of, listen, we can go out there and clean up the world, if you want, but he's really against opening up Wakanda to the rest of the world. But so which you really get his side of things. But yeah, I think he's probably in a prison. We don't know if he got snapped or not, but yeah, I agree. We'll probably see him again. That's why I kind of hesitated to say him, but
yeah. All right. Well, next up, somebody who was gone too soon. His performance happened, I believe, in 2003. There was plenty of time to do a sequel, but we could talk about that. It's Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin.
Oh, good call. Dang, I didn't even think of that.
Man, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but I heard no complaints about his casting. Because they were like, "Oh no, he's not white."
Well,
I heard
it was there. We didn't have Twitter and social media at the time, but I'm sure there was some, but certainly wasn't as loud. It was one of those. I mean, he's one of those guys that everyone loves. So.
Yeah, I mean, just man, I don't know. I mean, I love Michael Clark Duncan. Anytime you see him, he's like a welcoming, warm, giant teddy bear kind of presence.
Yeah,
But then in this movie, one of the first things he does is he chokes out one of his workers,
yeah,
and you just get a presence of it. He is the kingpin,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
know. And it was a great casting. Say what you will about the movie, but Michael Clark Duncan absolutely owned the role.
Yeah,
And yeah, unfortunately, he died about 9 years later.
yeah,
But it was such a memorable performance. I mean, dude, you got like Colin Farrell as Bullseye, Ben Affleck as Daredevil, who's
yeah,
another one done as far as that character goes.
yeah. That's right. Yeah,
But man, Michael Clark Duncan absolutely owned the role, and
yes,
Vincent D'Onofrio is good. Actually, he's really good. He's great, but I think Michael Clark Duncan stands right beside him. Um,
yeah.
so that's a one and done I wanted to bring up. Who do you have next?
Good call. Good call. Totally agree.
Mhm.
And just the big, just physically imposing guy that
Yeah,
Bullseye is, like, he perfectly fit it, man. It was really good. Uh, uh, that Colin Farrell, that could be one. He's a little cartoony, but he was really good. You can tell he was having a good time in that role. So uh,
yeah, he just looks insane in that movie, Colin Farrell.
he does. It's a weird, like, is it a tattoo? I don't know
Yeah,
what that is. Like a scar? I don't know. But
I think he did it himself.
was it a brand? Yeah, yeah. Put a brand on his head. I don't know.
I don't know.
So this is for our boy Jacob Bartley. Okay, did this for him. Uh, this last one, she's spectacular. I'm actually not. It's probably one and done. But again, it's comic books. It's MCU. There's probably some weird way that she can come back. But it's Hela, Kate Blanchett as Hela in
Oh,
Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Uh, Again, another one where she was fully into it. And even watching some of the behind the scenes, like, she was having a great time. Um, yeah, she was really tough. Obviously, this scene right here, she, spoiler alert for Thor Ragnarok, but she destroyed the hammer. She, plays this character who got too powerful, and Odin had to imprison her in hell. And when he died, she immediately came out and was looking for her spot on the throne. Yeah, it gave some backstory into Asgard, and I agree. Maybe. I mean, she got destroyed by a 500-foot sword, flaming sword. So, and the planet blew up. So I don't know if we'll see
Did
her.
she die?
That's hey. I mean, well, it said that was the only way to destroy her was destroy Asgard. So maybe, but at this point, uh, we'll say one and done. But we won't be surprised if she comes back. I think I'll say
Yeah.
that. So, but she got right into this role, man. She was really, really, really good. One of the better villains that they've had in the MCU, and certainly it was one of the toughest, probably the toughest that Thor had outside of his brother. Well, and Thanos, of course. But yeah, I mean, she was really good. I really thought she was really great. Very powerful. She just walked around killing everybody. Her thing was Carl Urban, his character, recruiting him to join her, and I just love how she shows up. She gives this whole speech about who she is, and then one of the Warriors 3 is like, "Look, I don't know who you are." And she's like, "Wait, who?" Or he's like, "Whoever you are." And she's like, "Wait, whoever I am? Weren't you listening to anything I said?"
Yeah.
She just rolls her eyes. She's like, "All right." She starts killing everybody, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I think she's really great, man. So maybe Star Drew. It's possible. I don't know if it'll be that one, but I think at some point in one of the next couple of phases, I mean, there's a chance we might see her again, maybe. So we'll see. But she's great. Kate Blanchett's really great. She's great in everything. Obviously, she's one of the best actors we have in the world. So, but yeah, she's really good. Like I said, you can tell she is having a good time in this role, and she looked awesome. The cool headgear, the big Hela like thing she's wearing. Really
Dude,
cool.
the whole flashback where she's fighting the Valkyrie.
Oh, Valkyrie, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and the soldiers, and just how she sends like I don't know 100 blades into the sky,
Just yeah, man, that's
and they're
crazy.
falling,
Hmm.
and it's crazy, man. And also when she looks up at the ceiling and she's like, "Oh, they rewrote history. Well, allow
Yeah,
me to
right.
fix it." And you see
Hmm.
the real Odin.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she has the hammer in her hand, and the hammer was made for her. And like, it's you think
yeah.
she could have? I think she would have done anything against Thanos and his army. I think she could have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She probably could
Uh,
have. Yeah, I thought about that. She probably
uh,
could have.
if Thanos had maybe 3 Infinity Stones,
Right.
3 or 2, it would
Yeah.
be a match. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But hey, there's a reason why Thanos came around
As soon as she was
after
gone.
after she
Exactly.
was gone. Yeah,
Exactly. That's a good point.
yeah. So all right. Well, I got a whole list here,
Okay.
so let's kind of shoot through these, and we'll go one by one. We'll try and
Okay.
do it rapid fire style. Um, Liv Schreiber as Sabretooth.
That's a great one. And they got him in the image here. I didn't even think of that. Great
Mhm.
call. He's so good. He's so good at Sabretooth.
Yep, it was a great
I
casting,
I
man.
heard he was supposed to be in. They wanted to get him back for Logan, and
Yeah, they were talking about doing a. He was going to come back for one scene.
yeah.
I believe it would have been in Logan's dreams or like a flashback or something. Where I believe he died.
Well, I think it was. See, I heard it was going to be instead of the Wolverine clone, it was going to be him.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
That's what I think. I heard that. I maybe you're wrong, but yeah, they're going to try to use him.
How would you feel about that? Hmm.
I think it would fit because that's the relationship they had, right?
Yeah.
They're always he just spent his life just trying to down Logan and fight him. Just to prove whatever, I don't know, trying to prove everything. If you watch the old X-Men cartoons, read the comics, like they'd be out on a mission, and then Sabretooth would just show
Mhm.
up out of nowhere, fight Wolverine, and they'd be like, oh, come on, I don't have time for this right now. And they'd fight it out, he'd beat him, and then
Yeah.
he'd be like, I'm gonna come get you later or whatever, so it kind of made sense. It would have been cool to see. But good call.
Yeah, I'm with you on all accounts. Great. The end of that first trailer, he's like, "Ooh, shiny,
Shiny, yeah,
ready to fight. Let's do it."
yeah.
Mark Strong as Sinestro, another one.
Mm.
Man, whenever he plays a bad guy, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I specifically remember his performance in Green Lantern. Say what you will about Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, but Sinestro up there, top center. Mark
Mm-hmm.
Strong, great performance. At the end, they teased us. They teased us that Sinestro will put on the
The
yellow
yellow,
ring,
yeah,
and man, it's unfortunate that we didn't. I mean, yeah, the movies, but you
yeah,
know, he was great.
yeah.
How about Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman? Talk about one and done.
Tell you
Like
what,
Michelle
yeah,
Pfeiffer as Catwoman back
yeah,
during that time.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
That's an iconic performance right there.
Mhm.
Uh, Man, yeah, I know.
When she
uh,
shows up at the mall and it's just
hmm,
like all the mannequins.
right.
And then she shows up at the end after we thought she died,
Hmm.
But the thing is, Michelle Pfeiffer never came back. That was the last minute add on scene, and
Oh,
Michelle Pfeiffer
really?
wasn't able to come back. I don't know if it was scheduling or it was because she didn't want to. Because obviously, I mean, you look at that suit, look how uncomfortable it looks.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, if you rewatch the very end scene of Batman
Oh,
Returns, you never see Michelle Pfeiffer's face. You
right.
see Catwoman, but yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, and then of course the Batman movies went on with Forever and went
yeah,
away a little bit from Tim Burton.
yeah.
Um, they say that we'll get a Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix, but I don't know if I believe that, given the way
Really?
DC is right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then you have the Batmans. You got Val Kilmer and George Clooney.
Right. Yeah.
Any,
Good call.
yeah, yeah. That's a stretch. I don't know. Michael
Just
J.
to,
White as Spawn
yeah. Yeah. For that matter, John Leguizamo as well. Who I
as
thought
like the
the
clown.
clown. Yeah, I thought he was really good. Uh, Spawn's not a good movie. Like I
No.
really, it's the HBO animated series was awesome. I remember watching that at the time, but yeah, this movie's not good. I actually went and saw it in the theater and was just like, this is, you like halfway through a movie and you're just like, this is not good at all. Like, the effects are bad, and but Michael J. White was okay. He's a guy that he's gotten a whole lot better over the years as an actor. He's Bronze Tiger and Arrow was really good, and they brought him back to do for a really good storyline in later seasons. But yeah, he was really good. I thought he was decent to Spawn. That was all right. But to loop back really quick on Joker,
Yeah.
I mean, he won an Oscar, and the movie made $1 billion. Like, surely they're going to make another one, right? I can't believe they wouldn't.
Hey,
I don't know
man. Brothers, they just.
I don't know. I don't know that I really. Would you be interested in that? I mean, we'd see it obviously, but would you want to see another Joker?
Yeah, it depends on the story, but
Yeah,
I'd be open to doing another one with this same creative team.
yeah.
You wouldn't?
I mean, same answer. Let's depend on the story. If it's, I want if he's gonna be, I don't know. I want him to be the Joker. Like I want to see start doing some crime stuff there. Not it doesn't have to be super villain. I don't know because this guy's not that. But if he's kind of getting the seeds where he's getting into some real underground crime stuff, then I wouldn't mind. So
what if it's his rise in the crime world?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Where he's taking on mob bosses and stuff.
Well, he would certainly be
the Maronis, the Falcones.
Falcone, yeah. He'd be in over his head, but I think the whole thing that he's shown that he's willing to do. Like he'll go further than anybody will. That's that's what the Joker is. So if we're seeing that, then yeah, I'd be interested in that definitely.
Oh, he was in Triple Threat. I've never seen Triple Threat, man.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. I didn't know he's in that. Okay.
I believe it's on Net. Oh yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's the guy who did the Raid.
Oh, really? Ooh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, one of the guys is in there for the Raid.
Okay.
Scott Adkins, Tony Jaa from Ombak movies.
Tony Jaa is awesome. Okay. Yeah.
Tiger Chen, who was in that Keanu Reeves martial arts movie from like
47 Ronin?
No, the other one.
I don't know.
Hold on. Wait.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah. What's the name of that movie? Damn it. Man of Tai Chi.
Never even heard of that. What?
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
Okay. I never heard of that one.
Man, now I have to watch Triple Threat.
All right, yeah.
Thanks, Starju. Appreciate that, buddy.
Good call.
Yeah. But where were we? Michael J. White.
Yeah.
And then you have Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. I mean, there were talks about there was actually talks about him.
Really?
Snyder Cut. But that didn't pan out. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now this one, it wasn't because the movie sucked or anything. It was because of a tragedy. Brandon Lee as the Crow.
Yeah, good. Yeah, right.
Great performance.
Yeah.
Great performance. Well on his way to, he would have been a star.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee. Yeah. Now, pick a Bruce Banner. You got Edward Norton and Eric Banner.
Yeah, good call.
I've been on record on our Apocalypse movie show.
Yes,
I really like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner.
he was really good, but apparently he was very difficult on set, and yeah, so
Edward Norton, I don't know. I always think about the possibility of him and Robert Downey Jr. Sharing a scene.
sure,
I like Mark Ruffalo.
yeah,
Mark Ruffalo is cool, but I always think about what if
yeah,
with Edward Norton.
yeah,
I wasn't too big of a fan of what Eric Bana did in Hulk.
yeah.
I thought he overacted some parts, especially when he gets angry. I'm just like,
Yes.
okay,
Absolutely.
the camera's zooming in too much on your face. It's just like,
Totally
um,
agree.
um, but yeah. And then on that note, Terrence Howard as Rhodey.
Yeah,
I like Don Cheadle, but I can't help but wonder, what could have been.
yeah, I agree.
And we're not going to get into the backstory of all that. But oh, Taylor Kitsch as Gambit.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause he's great, man. It's small. It's not a whole lot, but yeah, it easily, well, one of the, like, if there's three things in that movie that are really good, he's definitely one. Um, man, yeah, he was really, really good.
man.
Ah,
I mean, I just, I kind of feel bad about Taylor Kitsch because
he's a good
I felt
actor.
like good actor. He just, I don't know. Like we saw John Carter last month. He was great.
Great. I know.
He's great in this role as well.
Yeah.
He's a good Gambit.
Looks great, man. Looks cool. Yeah, I got the bowler hat. They have the quarterstaff. He's whipping around. He shows up and kind of saves the day, to be honest.
Poor guy gets elbowed in the face by Wolverine. Like,
yeah.
but
He's really good.
oh, Jake was here and he left.
Hey.
It's not my buddy.
Jake Berlin.
What did you say, Star Drew? Edward Norton, the score, and yeah, Edward Norton, very very talented actor.
Yeah. Rounders is
classic. Rounders. Classic. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay.
Yeah. Classic movie.
But yeah, man, Taylor Kitsch's Gambit. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But then they tried to move on with Channing Tatum as Gambit, and that never happened.
I want to see that. It doesn't. It's not going to happen. It doesn't seem like. But yeah. I was curious about that. But I was still like, I'm like, Taylor Kitsch was really good. Like they're just gonna move on from all of that. We'll never see any of them again. But
right.
I was curious to see Channing Tatum in that role. What it was. Still curious to see what that would be like. I'm not gonna rule that out, to be honest, because he seemed to be really into that project as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got two more on the list. Okay. I got Keanu Reeves as John Constantine in Constantine, which I just watched the other day. Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie at all.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, Rachel Weisz, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's right.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get it. He's not the traditional John Constantine, I mean, he does smoke, but at the end, he quit smoking.
Yeah.
I love it. Keanu Reeves embraced the role, embraced the weirdness that it is John Constantine, went with it, and I hope we do a watch along to that someday.
Well, that would be good. That's a good idea.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. Shy.
I think he's pretty good.
I just remember. Do you remember how he died?
It's been so long.
He tried to save the day.
Yeah.
And then Satan slammed him on the ground.
Yeah.
Brought his body up, slammed it on the ceiling, slammed it down on the ground again, and then did it again.
Yeah.
And then did it again. I'm just What the hell?
But then you get the post credit scene. You know, I don't want if anybody's watching and hasn't seen it, I almost spoiled. But wasn't he still not dead?
You know what? I didn't know there was a post-credit scene.
Oh no!
Is there?
Okay, I'm very sorry. I didn't know. You really never seen the whole way through. Yeah, there's a post credit scene. There's a post credit scene. I'll just leave it at that. Watch.
Okay.
Go fast forward. Go to or just Google it and you'll see.
Okay. All right. I'll do that next. And then Thomas Jane as Punisher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
The one with Travolta.
Sure. That's a good call. Yeah. Well, for that matter, Ray Stevenson as well.
Ray Stevenson, yeah.
For Warzone, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which no one ever talks about, man. It's one of them. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, Thomas Jane. That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good. He's a good Punisher. Tom Jane's he's a wacky guy, but he's a very good actor. And yeah, that movie's okay. You know, it was a little underwhelming, but he's a good. Travolta was not. I didn't really care for him in that movie, but Tom Jane was a good Punisher. Actually, yeah, I thought
man, Travolta, man, he was just
yeah, I know.
He was on the decline.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a decent performance from him. But yeah, it was Thomas Jane completely owned the role.
Yeah,
he is there. Punisher. Tragic, pretty disturbing, scene of his whole family getting
right,
ill.
Right, yeah,
and yeah, I mean he's great in the role. I mean, he did have that. Did you ever watch the short film Dirty Laundry?
No, it's on YouTube, right? I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, there is a short film on YouTube, and it's called Dirty Laundry. And
Is that where he's fighting the Russian?
Huh?
Is that where he's fighting the Russian?
No, this is where
okay.
He's coming out of the laundromat, and he sees these. Well, you can watch it, but pretty much he takes out some bad guys. Ron Perlman makes an appearance in the short film.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes long,
okay.
but it's called Dirty Laundry on YouTube. Check it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't think I've never.
Yeah. Dirty Laundry. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a good one. But yeah, man, that's a wrap. Unless you have any other one and dones you want to bring up.
No, that was it. That was all mine. And like, yeah, it was a good call. Both Punishers, like you said, Ray Stevenson as well, and the grossly underrated Punisher Warzone. But yeah, that's it. It's a long list of some great actors in these roles, man. We know we don't get to see them. We get to see them anymore. So.
The studios never quite figured it out, or the movies didn't quite hit right with people, or in some cases, gone too soon. But
do you think it's better to like these are all some big names that we need?
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's better to go with that, or kind of go a little more unknown and just go just talent? I mean, some of these are big names because they are talented, but you know what I mean. But
I think early on in the days, before the comic book genre really took off, I think you had to.
Sure.
I think you had to in order to draw people in,
Yeah.
And plus, comic book movies at the time, I mean, they were definitely a big risk in the 80s and 90s. 2000s, they were still a risk. But everybody was trying their hand after, X-Men and Spider-Man, franchises in the early 2000s kicked off. You had the Fantastic Four. And then when Nolan did his Batman movies, and then the MCU, and the rest is history. Interesting time for comic book movies. They were just trying to find their footing, and it's fun to look back on this and get to reminisce about what could have been. Let's see here. Any performers? Shadow. Is this the one with Tim Curry?
Is he in that? I don't even remember.
Alec
But
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, yeah, for sure. The Shadow, yeah.
No, that's not Tim
Oh,
Curry.
I don't
Yeah, he
say,
is.
is he in that?
He
Yeah,
is.
I don't even remember.
Star Drew. It's been a minute.
I
I remember
know.
Tim
Yeah,
Curry in there. I do sort of remember this movie, but
right.
did you watch it?
I saw it. Yeah, yeah, I saw it. It's another one that I know I've seen. I just have no memory.
Was there a lot of hype back in the day for that movie? Do you remember,
I
or
don't think
was it
so.
just another one of those movies where it's Alec Baldwin, it's Tim Curry,
Yeah, I think it's kind of a throwaway. They probably wanted it to be a big deal, but I don't think it didn't catch
Yeah,
on with anyone. So
man, dude. Yeah, 94 is when it came out.
yeah, yeah. I think it's people just didn't take it seriously. Like I said, I know I've seen it. I just don't. Just no memory of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that'll just about do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Sunday evening.
Yes.
I'll try and do these podcasts on Sundays. Keith, if you're down, I'll have you back and
Yeah.
hopefully get some more of the Apocalypse guys in here and
Right.
have a conversation. But any plugs you want to do?
Just follow me on Twitter, right there. Where you at here? Keith Barnes at Keith Barnes 39. Instagram at Keith Barnes 1979. And you can see me on Apocalypse movies over on that channel. Apocalypse Now every Tuesday or live every Tuesday at 7. Um, and I'll pop up here on this channel every now and then, talk about some stuff. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, man, I'd love to have you back on Sundays. I don't know how Sundays look for you,
Oh
but
yeah,
these are fun conversations. And like I said, these are casual, everything's on the table. If there's something that you want to talk about, movie related or whatnot, news, yeah, I'm all for it.
yeah,
And you guys obviously can subscribe to my channel on here, YouTube, Fandom United. I do big DC stories on here, a lot of DC talk. And you guys can follow my channel, and I appreciate that. We have quite a bit of videos up on there for you guys to check out. And find me on Twitter at Grey Goose Jedi. That's Grey Goose like the alcohol. And that's going to do it. Thank you again, Keith. Thank you, Star Drew, Jake, Johnny, and anyone else who's watching on playback or live. I appreciate it. You guys
yes.
have a good Sunday evening, and we'll be back next week. Take care.